The next big custom aquarium is here. We've been very excited to set this tank up and reveal the plans we've had in the works for a while. This is really going to be the ultimate tank setup for one of Alex's favorite cichlids. This process spanned about 5 days, but it'll all be complete in this one video, so let's dive right in. This is the current state of Alex's basement fish room. He has this beautiful 220-gallon Lake Malawi predator hap tank which was set up last summer. These are some monster fish with some great color popping. Then there is this 40-gallon breeder that has been growing out and quarantining small Mbuna Cichlids. Much more to come on these guys later in the video. And he also has this 10-gallon tank with a few different shrimp species. But this new aquarium is really going to make this fish room come together, and we have some awesome plans for it today. I drove down to help Alec unbox this tank and set everything up. We were down a cichlid bro as Quinn has been very busy teaching and coaching football, but it's okay as he really doesn't do anything anyway.
Bruh. What would you say you do here?
But joking aside, this is going to be a huge undertaking for just the two of us. Luckily, we've been working out just for this tank build.
Just doing my workout. Tuesday's arms and back.
This tank is from Custom Aquariums, and if you've been following along with the channel, you know that we absolutely love these tanks. Quinn has a 110-gallon custom aquarium in his classroom, and out of my 10 cichlid tanks, 2 of them are custom aquariums, and today Alec is adding his second big custom aquarium as well. As usual, these tanks are shipped in crates that are very well packaged but take forever to unbox. Since you've probably already seen us do this before, we'll speed up the process and get right into setting up the tank. Okay guys, so next to the 220, we have the stand in place. We have the foam pad which will go right under the tank right here. This makes sure that everything is level whenever it is on the stand. But now it's the hard part, which is getting the big tank down the basement. This aquarium is 180 gallons, which is 6 by 2 by 2 feet. It has ultra clear glass, a 36-inch high stand, and a canopy which will match the existing 220-gallon tank nicely. We used extremely handy suction cups to move this big aquarium. I don't really think we could have done it without the suction cups, just the two of us. As expected, this thing was a beast and very heavy to move. We brought it inside, stood it up vertically at the top of the stairs, then leaned it down slowly to catch it on the way down. But we did get the tank down here. Just the two of us, so well done, Alec.
Who needs Quinn?
Okay, now with the stand and the tank here, the first thing we need to do before we get it up onto the stand is to place the 3D background from Aqua Decor. You ready for this?
I'm really excited about this one. So it's time to install our Aqua Decor 3D background. If you remember about 14 months ago when we set up this 220-gallon tank behind me here, we set up another Aqua Decor 3D background that was siliconed in. We had to silicone it and then wait about 48 hours before we could actually add water into the tank. And I just love it. It's worked out so great for me. I knew I had to have another Aqua Decor background. So I wanted to do something a little bit different. This one is not a full background, so I thought I would do a fuller background on this one. And I also didn't want to take up too much tank space. And this one's a little bit lighter rock, so I wanted to go a little bit darker rock.
And Alec, like you mentioned, for this background, we will have to silicone it. Do you want to explain a little bit more about that?
Yes, this is brand new, awesome technology from Aqua Decor Backgrounds. They have magnetized backgrounds now. So luckily, they had the magnetized option in exactly what I wanted, and they worked with me, and they got me exactly what I was looking for. A very naturalistic look. We even got a little bit of red in the rock, a little dark gray, a little bit of light gray. And as you can see here, on the back, there are little spots that these are magnetized.
Yeah! Magnets! Oh!
The first step is just to simply put the background in place. It's very easy. All you have to do is kind of fold it up to go in the middle compartment at the top. And once you get it in the tank, it is very easy to unfold like so. And it's very simple. They give you 8 super magnetic magnets. All right, so I have one spot right here. And as you can see, it very nicely and neatly stays and holds the background in place.
And once all 8 are in place, this will be firmly against the back and it will be standing nice and firm against the back of the tank. Now that we got the background installed in the tank, we can put it on the stand, and then next we'll get to the Aqua Decor rocks that came with this background as a kit. Tank is on the stand, the background is in place.
We are just cleaning off some of the inside and outside right now, and then we are going to put in the sand and then the rest of the rocks that came with the Aqua Decor background. So we're going to go ahead and get to aquascaping this guy. What we got here?
We got Caribbean Aragalive. This is my favorite sand for African cichlid tanks. I did it in my 40 breeder, and my Mbuna just love it. And with this supposed to be the ultimate Mbuna tank, I figured I'll fill it up with this.
That's what you already have in the 40 breeder, right?
That's right.
So it's going to be just like home for them, just a much bigger home.
There's a few benefits to having the Caribbean Aragalive sand. One, the aragonite simulates the pH that Mbuna have in Lake Malawi. And two, it already has beneficial bacteria in it, which is great for setting up a new tank. I got 6 bags of these, which are 20 pounds each, and so we'll just put them all in here. Part of the 3D background package, Aqua Decor also sent me this awesome set of sinking rocks, is what they call it. If you look really closely, each of these has a tiny little hole that you would never see while you're looking at the tank, but these rocks will fill with water and keep them from floating. And as you can see, the rocks match the background perfectly with the dark, with a little bit of red, also a little bit of light rock, and they can stack up, which makes a great Mbuna habitat.
So now we have the sand and all these rocks in place. These are kind of a temporary place for the rocks. As we fill, we might need to make sure that they stay submerged. But we're gonna go ahead and start filling these. We might adjust the scape just a little bit, but overall, ready to go. Tank is full and the sand and the rocks are in there. Next up is installing the 2 filters. We have 2 canister filters, the Cichlids Whale 500s, which is one of our favorite filters that we've used on many other tanks, and it's super easy to fill up. We're actually going to put in some seeded media from other tanks so that the tank is basically cycled right away. We're also not going to be stocking this tank very heavily right away, so everything should be fine with the fish going in relatively soon, here in a day or 2. So this is one of the Cichlids Whale 500s, but it basically comes with 4 different trays that you can fill with media. It comes with chemical filtration, but we're probably going to switch that out for ChemiPure. But overall, it's a really reliable filter. It's a 5-year warranty. It's one of our favorites. We're going to use 2 of these for redundancy. We love having more than 1 filter on a tank when possible. And like I said, we're going to put in some seeded media into some of these trays to get this going right away. Okay, so it's the next day. The tank is set up and running. It's still a bit cloudy, but give the filters a little bit more time and it'll clear up in no time. But we're going to go ahead and start adding the Mbuna, starting with the Demasoni and then some of the other colonies that Alec has been growing out. But also right before we add the fish, we're going to add some sea chem stability, which will help boost the beneficial bacteria in the tank, kind of helping that instant cycle that we're having along with the seeded media. Alec has had a couple different colonies of Mbuna in his 40-gallon breeder that have been growing out and in essence quarantining. So Alec, give a quick spiel of what these Mbuna are.
I think I have 4 colonies in here. The largest colony is the Masobo Deep Magunga cichlid, which the yellow are the females. Actually, they're all yellow right now. The males, though, will eventually turn a really cool splotchy blue over black. And one of the best things you can do when stocking Mbuna are to contrast the blues and the yellows. And for my yellows, I went with a lot of female Masobo Deep Magungas to go along with the blue and black of the males, as well as the blue and black from some Mangano / Johanni cichlids, and as well as some Demasoni. Another one of my favorite things about Mbuna is the striped breeds like the J-Lo Reef, which I have in here. The really small guys are J-Lo Reefs, which are white with black bars and yellow fins. And I also have elongatus chuirs in here, which have a really cool male specimen here, which is mostly black with blue bars. Some kind of oddball specimens with also your classic blues and yellows.
And once we get all these guys in the 180, you're going to be getting a new shipment of even more Mbuna. And this 40-gallon breeder is basically going to be like a quarantine tank for every new shipment until your 180 is fully stocked, right?
Absolutely, we're gonna keep doing it in waves, 18 to 20 fish at a time. Being a 180, I can really stock the Mbuna pretty heavily in there because they really like to be overstocked and that'll make them happier. And so I'll just do wave after wave of quarantine in my 40. So I keep this stocked as well as keep adding to the new ultimate Mbuna 180.
Okay, so first in the tank are Demasoni. Here they go. We're gonna be very small in this big tank. Here goes one of them, and here comes the rest. Enjoy your new home, fellas. So all the fish are in. It's still a little bit cloudy, so we're gonna come back in probably a day or two and show a little more clear footage of the tank. As you can see, the 220 hap tank behind me is crystal clear. So this has a little bit to go, but all the fish are in, they're looking good. We're gonna show some footage of that.
Alright guys, so it is a few days later, and as you can see, the tank has cleared up fantastically. We have all the fish added from the 40 breeder. They're looking happy, healthy, and eating well, and I just could not be happier with this tank. So I just wanted to talk a little bit about the inspiration for this tank. I was really intrigued by the idea of kind of having the ultimate Mbuna tank, because Mbuna are typically kept in a little bit smaller tanks, like a 55 gallon, 75 gallon at most. So it's just kind of unique to see a tank as big as 180 gallons dedicated to just Mbuna. You might see a mix of haps, peacocks, and Mbuna in a 180, just usually not only Mbuna. And Mbuna was kind of my first love when it came to cichlids. So I really wanted to get back to my roots with this tank and fill it with Mbuna, all my favorite kinds. And what I wanted to do was kind of mix the classic blues and yellows with my stock list, but do it in a unique way. And I just can't say enough about Aqua Decor backgrounds. I mean, I just love these rocks and the background. The magnetic background setup is so easy. The rocks look so great. They're big boulder-like rocks that you would see in Lake Malawi. I love the color, the kind of dark gray to red to light gray. And I also can't say enough about custom aquariums, really delivering the best aquariums in the business with ultimate clarity, and it just looks fantastic. So I really feel like this tank is an amazing addition to my basement fish room, which may or may not be complete. We'll see how it goes in the future. But for right now, I could not be happier with how everything looks down here. And I cannot wait to share all the progress with you as we continue to add stock to this tank, as these fish continue to grow into their tank. It's just gonna be great. So make sure you like and subscribe to follow along for more, and we'll see you next time.